Ever feel like you're stuck with English textbooks? Like you wish you could just jump into real life conversations and, learn faster?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of wanting a more direct path to fluency is pretty common.
Well, today on the deep dive, that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking that jump.
That's right. We're basically going to dissect a real English conversation. It's from a video called Learn English Quickly with this real-life conversation. Speak English fluently.
Right. And it features two friends, James and Sarah, just having a normal chat, catching up.
Yeah, and our goal here isn't just to listen. It's to really unpack how they're talking, the phrases they use, the flow, and figure out what we can all learn from it for improving our own English.
Exactly, like reverse engineering how native speakers actually talk. So the mission, if you will, is to pull out practical tips, real insights from this natural chat, stuff you can actually use.
Okay, let's set the scene. It opens with James and Sarah meeting up. They haven't seen each other in a while. James starts with a classic opener.
Hey, long time no see. How have you been? You hear that one all the time.
You do. And long time no see, it's interesting. It's less about conveying information and more about reestablishing that connection, right? Setting a friendly, informal tone.
Makes sense. And Sarah replies, hey, James, I've been good. Just super busy with work lately. What about you? Again, very relatable, super busy.
And notice James immediately echoes that with, same here. Work has been hectic. You know how it is.
Okay, that word hectic, let's pause on that. It's not just busy, is it?
No, exactly. Yeah. Hectic implies more chaos, like a lot going on, maybe feeling a bit out of control. It's a great word.
And using it helps them connect, like, you understand my stressful work life, a bit of shared experience.
Precisely. It builds that common ground. Then, like friends do, the conversation shifts. Sarah throws in, totally. By the way, I was just thinking about our last trip to Brighton. That was such a fun weekend.
The pivot to a shared memory. Nice move. Keeps the positive vibe going.
Yeah, and James jumps on a specific detail. Oh yeah, that beach day was amazing. Remember the fish and chips? Specifics make memories feel more real,
Definitely. And Sarah's response is perfect. How could I forget? Greasy but delicious. I love that greasy but delicious part.
It's so descriptive. But let's look at how could I forget? It's not really asking, right?
No, it's rhetorical. It's like saying that was unforgettable. It adds emphasis, shows how memorable that greasy
greetings, sharing relatable feelings, using descriptive language, rhetorical questions.
Yeah.
It's much richer than just basic sentences.
Okay, so moving on. They start talking about hobbies. Sarah mentions she's trying to learn Spanish, doing a bit each day.
Right, and this leads James to say something I think many of us feel. I wish I had the discipline. I keep saying I'll improve my French, but I never get around to it.
Get around to it. Or rather, never get around to it. What's the nuance there? It's more than just being busy, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It implies you intend to do it. You maybe even want to do it, but something stops you. Maybe lack of motivation, or you just don't prioritize it. There's often a little sigh behind that phrase.
Totally feel that. Then Sarah gives her advice, her secret for language learning.
Yes, she says, the secret is doing small things daily, like listening to short conversations, shadowing, and speaking out loud, even if I make mistakes.
Okay, that sounds super practical, small daily actions. And she mentions shadowing. Can you break that down quickly for anyone who hasn't heard of it?
Sure. Shadowing is basically you listen to someone speaking the language, like a native speaker, and you try to repeat what they say almost at the same time.
Like you're their shadow, vocally.
Exactly.
Yep.
Mimicking the pronunciation, the rhythm, the intonation. It really helps tune your ear and train your mouth muscles.
So it's not just listening, it's physically doing it, making the sounds.
Right. And James connects it back. Sounds like how people should learn English too, right?
And Sarah agrees. Exactly. Conversations make it real. It's how we actually use the language in real life.
Which brings us to, well, the core idea here. Learning through real talk, not just textbook exercises.
Yeah, textbooks are useful for the basics, the grammar rules, but they often lack that natural feel, the pauses, the ums, the everyday slang.
Precisely. Jones highlights this too.
Yeah.
He mentions using expressions like,
I'm beat, instead of just I'm tired.
Right. I'm beat. Sounds much more natural, more informal. It suggests you're really exhausted.
And the other one, what are you up to? Instead of what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you up to? It's just a friendlier, more casual way to ask about someone's activities or plans. Using phrases like these really makes your English sound less stiff,
Yeah,
more authentic.
definitely. Then Sarah makes a really important point about mistakes.
Oh, this is crucial. She says, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. No one speaks perfectly 100% of the time, not even natives.
Such a relief to hear, right? Because that fear of messing up can really hold you back.
Totally. It paralyzes people. But seeing mistakes as just, part of the process, feedback, basically, that changes everything.
James adds that great line, practice makes progress, not perfection.
Love that.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off trying to be flawless and just focuses on getting better step by step.
And then they actually address the viewer, you listening right now, Sarah says. And if you're watching this right now, remember, speak out loud, repeat after us, and use these phrases in your day.
It's a direct call to action. Don't just passively listen or watch. Do something. Engage with the language.
Yeah, and they even give a specific challenge. Sarah suggests you.
Pick 3 phrases from this video and use them in your own conversation today.
3 phrases. That's manageable, right? Makes it concrete.
Very. It encourages immediate application.
Yeah.
And James offers an alternative too.
Right. He says, or even better, comment below with a sentence using one of today's phrases. We'll check and give feedback.
That's great too. Getting feedback is so valuable when you're learning. It creates that interactive loop.
So they wrap up with some final encouragement, Sarah says.
Keep speaking, keep growing, and remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent.
There's that consistency theme again, linking back to the small things daily advice.
Exactly. It's not about massive heroic efforts, but regular, steady practice. That's what builds fluency over time.
And James signs off with, see you in the next video. And as always, stay curious and keep learning.
A nice, encouraging finish.
So pulling it all together from this deep dive,
Yep.
what have we really seen?
Well, we've seen the value of looking beyond just words, how things like long time no see set the tone, how sharing experiences build connection, how idioms like hectic or I'm beat add flavor.
And the huge importance of just doing it. Small daily actions, like Sarah suggested, shadowing, speaking out loud.
And embracing mistakes, not as failures, but as like signposts showing you where to focus next. That progress, not perfection mindset.
Absolutely. And those challenges they set, use 3 phrases, write a comment. They really underline that learning is active, not passive. You've got to actually use the language.
You do.
Yeah.
It's not enough just to understand the concepts. Application is where the magic happens.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? About how much you can gain just by paying closer attention to everyday conversations, even short ones like this. The natural rhythm, the expressions people use.
Yeah, there's so much learning potential just floating around us in daily interactions.
And maybe that's the final thought for you to consider. Besides language, what other areas of your life could benefit from that same principle, consistent, small, daily actions, rather than waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan? What unexpected progress could that unlock? Something to think about.
With something we all face, mistakes and regrets.
Yeah, definitely universal themes.
We're starting with this really great conversation from Real Easy English, Beth and Neil. They shared some quite personal stories, actually.
And they broke down the language around when things, don't go quite as planned.
So think of this as, well, a way to get a clearer handle on these experiences.
Exactly. We'll look at what really is a mistake, what regret feels like, and whether looking back is actually valuable, all through their stories.
Okay, so Neil kicks things off. He says a mistake isn't just like getting a math sum wrong.
Right. It's bigger sometimes. Life decisions, actions we take, it covers a lot of ground.
It's quite a wide spectrum then, isn't it?
It really is. And we often just focus on the obvious errors, the small stuff maybe. But the impact, the emotional side, and what we learn, well, that can be totally different depending on if it's, losing your keys or changing your whole career path.
Right. And Beth gives a perfect example of the everyday kind. She left her suitcase on the train, accidentally.
Oh, yeah, that classic by mistake moment. You instantly get that sinking feeling, don't you?
Totally.
And how she described it, the football fans being a distraction, then realizing maybe half an hour down the line,
Yeah.
you can almost feel that little wave of panic.
Yeah, definitely.
What's interesting, though, is the luck involved. They held the train, she got it back. It makes you wonder.
Wonder what?
Well, how much do we really learn when we get bailed out like that, when there's a sort of fortunate escape?
That's a good point. Does the easy fix lessen the lesson? Then Neil, he talks about a much bigger mistake, or what felt like one.
Resigning from that teaching job in Prague he loved.
Yeah, just because he felt like he needed a change, not because he was unhappy.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? That human need for something new, even when things are good. And the regret hit him so fast afterwards.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, it suggests maybe that initial feeling, that need for change, maybe it wasn't fully thought through, perhaps more emotion than logic.
Could be.
Yeah.
And it's almost a mirror of Beth's suitcase story in a weird way.
How so?
The unexpected happy ending. He actually got his job back.
Oh, right, because the new person changed their mind. Yeah, that parallel is strong.
It really makes you think how much the outcome colors our view of the initial mistake. If he hadn't gotten the job back.
Exactly. Would he still frame it the same way? The story we tell ourselves about our mistakes is, well, it's powerful. Something that felt like a huge error can look different later if things turn out okay.
So is mistake even a fixed label then? Or is it something we assign later looking back?
Precisely. It's often defined in retrospect based on what happened next.
That's really interesting. Okay, so then they shift gears a bit, talking about regret. Beth defines it pretty simply.
Yeah, just feeling bad or sorry about something you did, wishing you'd done it differently.
And Neil gives that classic childhood example, quitting piano lessons.
And the interesting part there is his parents gave him the choice. As kids, we don't really grasp, future benefits or how our tastes might change. And he loves music now, plays guitar.
So he looks back and thinks, if only.
Exactly. It really highlights how our values shift over time, doesn't it? And how that can make us regret choices made with a completely different mindset.
It's funny how those early decisions can stick with you. But then Beth, she has a totally different view on regret.
Yeah, she basically says we shouldn't have regrets.
Which sounds bold.
Well, her thinking is all about growth. That every experience, even the bad ones, teaches you something. They make you who you are.
So it's a very resilient way of looking at things, focusing forward.
Absolutely. It's about momentum, not getting stuck looking back. It fits with that whole idea that experience is the best teacher, even if it involves messing up sometime.
It definitely feels more positive, and it connects right into that common saying we have, learn from your mistakes.
Such a fundamental phrase, isn't it?
It really is.
And it implies, an active thing, not just admitting you messed up, but actually taking something useful away from it.
Like a practical lesson.
Right. The value is in preventing the next mistake, though you have to wonder how often we consciously do that learning part.
True. So, okay, just to quickly recap the key words they used. Mistake, just an action that's wrong or unintended. By mistake, doing something accidentally, like Beth in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Regret, that feeling sorry about the past.
That emotional response.
And then the action part. Learn from your mistakes, remembering not to do it again.
These words are they're baked into how we talk about our choices, aren't they? Trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah. The little nuances show how we think about intention, how we feel about the past, and how we try to guide ourselves for the future. So wrapping this up, it seems clear that mistakes vary hugely, from tiny slips to big life changes.
Definitely not all the same weight.
And regret is that emotional echo, but maybe it doesn't have to be the final word.
Right, especially if you adopt Beth's perspective.
And there's always this tension, isn't there, between looking back and needing to move forward.
Indeed. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about a really small mistake you made recently. Maybe you misspoke, forgot something minor.
Okay.
Did you actually take anything away from that tiny stumble? Anything at all? Now think about a proper past regret, something that still, pops into your head sometimes. Has that experience, maybe in a way you didn't expect, actually shaped who you are now?
That's a deep one.
Well, sometimes connecting those dots, the small error and the big regret, that's where we learn the most about ourselves and the path we've taken.
If you listening will recognize. It's that gap, right, between studying English, knowing the words, the grammar, and actually, speaking it fluently.
Yeah, it's a really common sticking point. You feel like you should be able to speak after all that work.
Exactly. But maybe you freeze up in conversations, or what comes out just sounds a bit stiff, not natural.
Right. Even after years of classes, sometimes it's super frustrating.
So the mission for this deep dive is, to explore why those traditional ways might be falling short.
And to dig into an alternative idea, really, one that's all about actual communication. We've been looking at some interesting stuff describing this different methodology.
Okay, let's get into that. When we say traditional methods, what are we actually talking about? What does that typically involve for learners?
Well, the material we looked at really highlights that focus on the mechanics.
Like grammar rules.
Grammar rules studied separately, yeah.
Yeah.
Big vocabulary lists, maybe out of context, lots of worksheets.
Right. And reading English that's maybe quite formal, stuff you wouldn't actually, like, say.
Exactly. Formal, sometimes really academic language. It's almost like learning about all the bits of a bike, the pedals, the wheels, how they should work together.
We're never actually getting on the thing and trying to ride it.
Precisely. It's that analogy, isn't it? Trying to learn swimming by just reading books about it.
Yeah, you understand buoyancy in theory, but the minute you hit the water, whoosh, it's different.
Totally different. And the sources really hammer this home. Passive study, just taking information in, doesn't automatically build the skill of speaking.
So knowing about English isn't the same as using English. That's the core idea.
That's the crucial bit. Speaking is active. It's almost a performance. You need that muscle memory, the rhythm, the flow.
Okay, which brings us to the alternative solution then. The focus here is real conversation.
Right on. Learning by actually doing it. Speaking, interacting, using English, how it's, well, actually used.
So less textbook dialogues, more real life. What are the key pieces of this according to the material?
Yeah, absolutely ditching those often stilted textbook scenarios. The first big thing is using real, natural conversations as the main learning source.
Okay, so you're hearing how people actually talk.
You get the pauses, the interruptions, the tone, the filler words, everything.
Yeah, you absorb so much more than just the words themselves, the context, the rhythm.
Exactly. And building on that, another key thing they talk about is really breaking down useful expressions, phrasal verbs, idioms.
Phrasal verbs, my nemesis.
Haha, everyone's nemesis sometimes. But here, the idea is to learn them in context from those real conversations so they don't feel so random. You see how they work.
Right, not just memorizing put up with means tolerate. You hear how someone uses it naturally. Makes sense. What else?
And there's the active stuff, things like speaking challenges and shadowing practice.
Shadowing, is that repeating what you hear?
Yeah, immediately repeating after a speaker. That plus specific repetition exercises, it's all designed to build confidence and physical fluency. And crucially, doing it in a way that reduces that fear of making mistakes. It's practice, not a test.
Like drills for an athlete, almost. You're practicing the actual movements of speaking until they feel more automatic.
That's a great way to put it. And linked to that is this push to get learners thinking directly in English.
Avoiding the translation step.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that constant mental translation, it just slows you right down. It makes everything jerky.
Yeah, it's like having a conversation with a really bad delay. You can't keep up.
So thinking table, not mesa.
Okay.
Table, just the table, directly.
Got it.
And finally, the sources consistently mention the need for ongoing support, good tools, motivation, because learning takes time.
Right. You need to stay engaged, keep the momentum going.
Exactly. Seeing progress helps fuel that drive.
Okay, so this approach sounds, well, fundamentally different from the grammar first route. How does it feel different for the learner day to day?
I think the biggest thing is that emphasis shifting. It's not about memorizing rules first and then maybe eventually speaking. It's about speaking as the way you learn, applying it constantly. Traditional methods often treat speaking like this advanced thing you unlock later.
But this flips it.
Yeah, it kind of flips it. Speaking is the foundation. The idea is you start to live in English a bit more. Daily practice in speaking, listening, even trying to think in it.
And the goal isn't just knowing more grammar points. It's about a bigger change.
Oh, definitely. The outcomes highlighted are things like, genuine confidence, less hesitation.
That hesitation is killer.
It really is. And being able to express yourself naturally, authentically, moving beyond just knowing the language to actually using it to connect.
Okay.
And there's also this message of reassurance, that fluency isn't just for some people who have a gift for languages.
That's important. So many people get discouraged thinking they just don't have the knack.
Right. But this suggests it's much more about the method you use and that it doesn't have to be this super stressful, judgmental process.
That makes sense. Did the sources mention specific feedback from learners? What do people actually say?
Yeah, some really powerful stuff, actually, like people saying, now I can speak without overthinking, which goes right back to that translation issue.
Wow, yeah. That overthinking loop is hard to break.
Totally. And others saying they can finally understand native speakers better, which shows their listening skills are tuning into that natural, real-world speech.
Okay, so listening and speaking improving together.
Seems like it. And then there's feedback about feeling confident using English at work, real practical impact.
That's huge for people's careers and just daily life.
Absolutely. And maybe the most telling one is people saying it's the first time English has ever felt natural to them.
That hits differently, doesn't it? It's not just about being correct, it's about feeling comfortable, authentic.
Precisely. So the main goal really boils down to helping people speak real English confidently in their actual lives.
Not just in a classroom.
Not just in a classroom.
Yeah.
Moving beyond the academic side to the practical day-to-day reality of communication.
So if you're listening to this and it strikes a chord, maybe you felt that exact frustration we talked about.
Knowing the rules but struggling to get the words out.
Yeah. Then maybe this deep dive offers, well, a bit of hope. A different perspective.
Definitely. The idea that you can shift from just learning about English to actually using it naturally, effectively.
In a way that feels motivating, not defeating.
Right. It frames fluency not as this massive, scary mountain, but as a skill you build.
Yeah.
Step by step, day by day, with the right focus.
Consistent engagement, focusing on real communication.
Exactly.
Okay, well, on that note, here's something to think about. A final thought for you listening. Just take a moment and really consider the specific situations in your life. Work, travel, friendships. Where would having more confidence speaking English make the biggest difference? What conversations, what interactions would suddenly open up for you?
That's a powerful question to reflect on.
It is something to mull over. Family. It's such a central topic in pretty much every conversation, isn't it?
It really is.
Whether you're just, making small talk or maybe building deeper connections, family just seems to always come up.
It almost always does. And while the idea of family is something everyone gets, the way we actually talk about it, the specific words and phrases we use, that can really shape things.
Especially in English.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when English isn't your first language.
Right. So our mission today in this deep dive is really to get into how we talk about family in English. We're going to unpack the essential vocabulary, some really useful expressions, and hopefully just give you a clearer understanding so you can talk about your own family confidently, naturally.
Yeah, feel comfortable with it.
And we've got some great material here. It's from an English language lesson that focuses specifically on this topic.
And what's interesting, I think, is that even though family is universal, different languages, different cultures, they can have subtle but actually quite important ways they categorize and talk about relationships.
Oh, that's a point.
So understanding let's say the English approach can be really helpful.
Okay. So let's get right into it then. Why is it actually so important to be able to talk about family in English? It seems obvious, maybe, but let's dig in a bit.
Well, just think about those first chats you have with someone new.
Yeah.
It's I'd say almost guaranteed that questions about your background will come up. And family is like a cornerstone of that.
Totally.
Our source material points out those really common opening lines. Things like, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Really classic starter.
Or tell me a bit about your family. You hear that all the time.
Yeah, you do. And being able to handle those questions smoothly, it isn't just about giving info, is it? It's about building that first connection.
Yes.
If you can share a little bit about your family life, it really kind of opens the door, helps you feel more comfortable speaking too, right?
Absolutely. It makes a huge difference. And the foundation for all of that is knowing the basic vocabulary, for your closest relatives.
Right.
The lesson we're looking at, it starts with immediate family.
Okay. Immediate family. So what does that cover generally?
Generally, it's the people you live with, or maybe those you're just very, very closely connected to, your core unit, you could say.
Gotcha. And these are the essential words then. Mother, and the more casual ones, mom or mum.
Depending on where you are, yeah.
Father or dad. Then, obviously, brother and sister. If you have children, it's son and daughter. And if you're married, husband and wife.
That's the core list.
And we also use those collective terms like parents for mother and father together.
Right.
And children, or often just kids, for sons and daughters.
Yeah, kids is probably more common in everyday chat. And the lesson gives some really practical examples of how you might use these. Well, simple things, like I have one brother and two sisters.
Yeah.
Or maybe my mom works as a teacher and my dad is an engineer.
Straightforward.
Or I'm married and we have two kids, a boy and a girl. Just simple statements, but, they're the building blocks.
Absolutely, the fundamentals. Okay, so that covers who's in your sort of closest circle. But family often goes way beyond that, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
That's where we get into extended family.
Exactly. Extended family, that includes all those relatives who aren't in your immediate household, but they're still a really important part of your, let's say, family network.
So who does that include?
Well, you've got your grandparents, and there are a few ways to say that. Grandmother, or the more informal grandma, sometimes granny.
Right.
And grandfather, or grandpa. Granddad is another common one.
Grandpa, granddad, yeah. And then aunts and uncles, so that's your parents' brothers and sisters?
Correct. And their children are your cousins.
Cousins, right. It's interesting how these terms just create this whole web, this network.
It is. And we also need to include nieces and nephews.
Ah, yes, so your siblings' children.
That's right. And then there's the whole family you gain through marriage, your in-laws.
Oh, yeah, the in-laws. Mother-in-law, father-in-law.
Brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and so on. The lesson gives examples for these too, like I try to visit my grandparents once a month.
Okay.
Or my uncle lives overseas. Just showing how you might mention these relationships in, normal conversation.
It really shows how diverse family structures can be.
Yeah.
And why having this vocabulary is so key to navigating those connections in English.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, beyond just naming people, how do you start to give a feel for your family dynamics? Like, what's the vibe?
Yeah, that's a great question. The lesson offers some really helpful expressions for exactly that.
Like what?
Phrases like, we're very close, that immediately tells someone about the strong bond you share.
Simple, but powerful.
Or, I take after my mom. That's a great way to share a similarity, maybe in looks or personality.
Oh, I like that one. Take after. Adds a nice personal touch.
It does. And then you have the more factual but still really important expressions like, I'm the oldest in the family, or I'm the youngest.
Or middle child.
Or the middle child, exactly.
Right.
Or things like, my parents are divorced or separated or married. Being able to state these clearly is, well, essential.
Yeah, avoids confusion.
Absolutely. And another really common one is, I come from a big family or a small family. That often comes up early on when you're introducing your family.
Right. Sets the scene.
And then there's a lovely one that talks about shared time. We always spend time together on weekends.
Nice.
The example the lesson provides actually pulls several of these together quite nicely. It says, I come from a big family. I have 3 brothers, and we're really close. We always go on family holidays together every summer.
Yeah, you see how that flows. It gives you a little snapshot, doesn't it? A glimpse into their family life.
Exactly.
So, okay, expressions are good. How can you go beyond that and talk more about, say, the rhythm of your family life?
Yeah.
The day-to-day stuff.
Well, the lesson covers describing family life through basically 3 areas: daily routines, special occasions, and traditions.
Okay. Routines first.
Yeah. For routines, you might say things like, my dad usually cooks dinner, or we try to eat together as a family every night.
Little details.
Or on Sundays, we often go for a walk in the park or watch a movie together. These specifics really help someone picture your day-to-day.
Makes sense. And special occasions.
For those big moments, you could say, we always celebrate birthdays with a big family meal.
Classic.
Or Christmas is a really important family event for us. Or maybe every year we try to go on a family trip to the coast, highlighting those, significant shared times.
Yeah, the milestones or annual things. And traditions. How is that different?
Traditions are maybe those more unique, recurring rituals. The lesson gives examples like, in my family, we always have a special breakfast together on Saturday mornings.
Oh, nice.
Or, my grandmother makes a traditional cake for every New Year's Day. Or maybe, we have a tradition of taking a group photo at every family gathering.
Ah, I see. Those little specific things that make your family your family.
Exactly. Those rituals often carry a lot of meaning, and they can be really great conversation starters, too.
They really can. They offer this little window into your family's unique sort of culture. Okay. And what about describing the actual people, the individuals, their personalities, their lives?
Right. That's where you can really bring your family to life for someone by sharing details about, their personality, maybe their jobs, hobbies, interests, that kind of stuff.
How would you do that?
The lesson gives a couple of really good examples. For a brother, it says something like, my brother is really funny. He's always telling jokes and making us laugh.
Okay, personality first.
Yeah. Then it adds, he works as a software engineer and loves playing video games in his free time. So you get his job and hobby too. Really paints a picture.
It does, yeah. You get a sense of him. And the sister example.
For sister, my sister is very thoughtful and intelligent. Again, personality. She's studying law at university and wants to become a lawyer. She enjoys reading and going to the theater.
Again, much clearer than just saying, I have a sister.
Much clearer. And the lesson also provides a helpful list of adjectives. Words like kind, helpful, funny, strict.
Oh, strict. Interesting one.
Creative, caring, serious, energetic, patient, supportive. Just fantastic words to have in your back pocket when you're describing your family.
Definitely useful.
Exactly. Using that kind of descriptive language helps people connect with your family on a much more personal level. It goes beyond just, stating facts.
It allows for a deeper understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, now, to really see how this all meshes together, the lesson includes a longer example, right? Someone actually talking about their family.
Yes, and it's a great way to see it all in action. It shows how you can weave together the vocabulary, the expressions, the descriptions, all the things we've been talking about.
Let's hear it.
Okay, it goes something like this. I come from a small family. There's just me, my mom, and my younger brother.
Setting the scene.
My parents are divorced, so we live with my mom. She's incredibly supportive and always encourages me with my studies. So, description of the mom.
Right, using supportive.
My brother is 12 years old and he's really into basketball. A bit about him. We're quite close, there's that expression, and we spend a lot of our free time together. Every Sunday we play board games or go for pizza. That's a routine or tradition.
Nice detail.
I also visit my grandparents who live in a nearby town every few weeks.
Right.
Talking about extended family. I really value the time I spend with them, just adding that feeling.
Wow, yeah. You can really hear how naturally all those different bits and pieces fit together in that description. Gives you a real feel for this person's family.
It really does.
So if someone listening wants to get better at talking about their own family in English, what are some practical steps? What can they actually do?
Well, the lesson offers some really excellent concrete advice. First off, just writing a short paragraph about your family, that's a great starting point.
Just get it down on paper.
Exactly. Then, and this is key, practice saying it out loud regularly. That helps build fluency and, just as importantly, confidence.
Makes sense. Get comfortable with the words.
And another tip is to record yourself and listen back. It can feel a bit strange at first.
Oh, I know that feeling.
But it's incredibly useful. You can spot areas where maybe your pronunciation isn't quite clear or where the phrasing sounds a bit awkward.
That's a really good tip, actually. Hearing yourself objectively. What else?
Learn new vocabulary related to family. Maybe focus on more descriptive adjectives like the ones we mentioned, or perhaps specific relationship terms you weren't sure about.
Expand the toolkit.
Right, and then actively try to use those new words when you talk or write about your family. That's how you make them stick.
Practice makes perfect.
And finally, the lesson suggests trying to tell a story. Pick a specific family memory or a tradition you have and try to describe it in detail. That's a fantastic way to practice in a more engaging and complex way.
Like applying everything together in a real scenario. Great advice.
Yeah, I think so.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into talking about family in English, it feels really clear that it's not just about knowing a list of words.
Not at all.
It's really about being able to share a genuinely important part of your life.
Right?
And connecting with other people on a more personal level because of it.
Absolutely. Whether your family is big or small, whether they live nearby or far away, whether it's what people think of as traditional or something more modern, being able to communicate about them clearly and confidently.
Yeah.
That's such a valuable skill. It helps you build relationships. It helps you share your own unique story in English.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something for you, the listener, to maybe think about after our chat today. Consider a specific family tradition you have, or maybe just a really vivid memory involving your family. How would you describe that in English? Using some of the vocabulary, maybe some of the expressions we've explored today.
That's a great exercise.
It feels like a fantastic way to start putting what you've learned into practice and share a little piece of your world. Really practical. We're going to jump into a real bit of everyday English conversation. The kind of chat you might actually hear if you were sitting in a coffee shop.
Exactly. We've got this great source, excerpts from real coffee shop English conversation. And the idea isn't just, understanding the dictionary meaning. We want to dig into those key phrases, the sort of unspoken things that really help you sound more natural, more fluent when you're actually speaking English.
Right. Getting the inside scoop on how people really talk.
Yeah, it's like cracking the code a little bit.
Because sometimes it is about what's not said, or, the way it's said. So let's set the scene. We've got Anna and Jake meeting up casual coffee shop chat. They're ordering drinks, talking about what they've been doing, making maybe some vague future plans. Standard stuff.
Pretty typical. Okay, so Anna gets there. She sees Jake.
And she calls out, "Hey, Jake, over here."
Yeah, see? Right away. Hey, Jake, over here. It's simple, but notice how informal that is. Very direct. Gets his attention, sets a relaxed tone immediately.
You wouldn't shout that across like a fancy restaurant, would you?
Definitely not. And Jake's response, "Oh, hey, Anna. It's been a while. How are you?"
Okay, it's been a while. Let's unpack that a bit. It's more than just stating time has passed.
Oh, absolutely. It's got warmth in it. It's acknowledging, hey, we haven't seen each other for some time, and it's good to see you now. It signals an existing relationship, you know? Not for a first meeting.
That makes sense. It's friendly. So Anna replies, "I'm good, thanks. Just a bit tired. Work has been crazy lately."
Super common, right? Everyone can relate to that feeling.
Totally. And Jake's response is perfect. "Tell me about it. Same here. I've been working late almost every night." Tell me about it. That's such a great phrase.
It really is. It's so efficient. It packs in empathy, agreement, shared experience, all in 4 words. It's not just, I agree. It's more like, oh, I know exactly what you mean. I've been there too.
Yeah, it instantly creates that connection, like we're in the same boat.
You hear it all the time in casual chats.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Much better than just a flat, "Yeah, me too." Okay, so they've done the greetings, the shared exhaustion about work. What's next? Coffee.
Naturally, Anna says, "You need a break. What are you having?" "Coffee."
Seems logical.
And Jake goes, "Yeah, I'll grab a cappuccino. What about you?" Straightforward.
Then Anna says, "I already got a flat white. Want me to order for you?"
Okay, this offer, want me to order for you? It's a nice little touch, isn't it?
It really is. It feels very natural and considerate.
Exactly. It's anticipating the need. A small gesture, but it keeps things friendly and smooth. It sort of says, hey, I'm going up anyway. It's no bother.
Efficient politeness. I like that.
Yeah. And Jake accepts. That'd be great, thanks. Medium, no sugar. Clear instructions.
Good. So Anna gets the coffee, comes back. Here you go. Standard delivery phrase.
And Jake's reply, "You're a lifesaver."
Love that one.
Me too. It's obviously an exaggeration, right? She didn't literally save his life.
Hopefully not, just with coffee.
Right. But it's a really common, informal way to express strong gratitude for something helpful, even small. Especially, if you're tired or stressed. That coffee feels like a lifesaver. It adds personality.
It really does. These little expressions add so much color. Okay, coffee acquired. Now they can actually talk. Jake kicks it off. "So how's everything else?"
That little pause in the "so" is very natural. It signals a slight shift, broadening the topic.
Yeah, moving past the initial "how are you" and the coffee logistics.
Exactly. And Anna gives an update. "Not bad. I started doing yoga recently. It's actually really relaxing."
Simple update. Personal news.
And Jake connects with that. "Nice. I've been thinking of joining a gym. I need to get in shape."
The classic get in shape resolution.
Isn't it just? But see how they're sharing these little personal things? That's what keeps the conversation flowing.
Yeah, that back and forth, it builds the connection.
And Anna encourages him, "You should. It really helps with stress too." Offering support.
Nice. Then Jake kind of wraps up that thought. True. Anyway, I'm glad we finally caught up.
Right. Caught up. That's another key phrase here.
What exactly does it imply?
It means specifically talking to someone you haven't seen in a while to find out their news. Share yours. Basically bridge the gap since you last spoke.
Got it. Filling each other in.
Precisely. And Anna echoes that feeling. "Me too. Let's not wait another 2 months." Yeah.
Suggesting they value the friendship, want to see each other sooner, even if it's casual.
Yeah, expressing that desire to maintain the connection, and Jake seals it with, "Definitely, next time, my treat."
The classic offer, "my treat," meaning he'll pay next time.
Yep. A nice, friendly way to close this part of the chat and gesture towards the future.
So if we look back at just these few minutes, wow, there are some really useful takeaways for you, the listener.
Definitely. We've got that warm greeting, "It's been a while."
That empathetic agreement, tell me about it.
The polite offer, "Want me to order for you."
The exaggerated "thank you, you're a lifesaver."
And that term for reconnecting, "catch up."
And it's not just about knowing the definitions, is it?
Not at all. It's about understanding the feeling behind them, the when and why. They add these layers, politeness, shared feeling, connection. It makes the conversation feel, real.
And the more you tune into these, the more natural your own English will start to sound. you'll feel more confident using them too.
Absolutely. So let us quickly check if you've absorbed the key details. A little comprehension check for you.
Okay, first question. Where were Anna and Jake meeting?
What drink did Jake decide on?
What new activity did Anna mention she'd started?
What was that specific phrase Jake used to show he totally agreed with Anna about being tired and overworked?
And finally, who offered to pay for the next coffee?
Just take a second to think about those. If any are tricky, maybe rewind a little. It's all good practice.
Yeah, active listening really helps cement things.
So what we've done in this deep dive is really look under the hood of a simple conversation. We've seen how it flows, how people connect, and pulled out some really practical, usable language.
Remember, getting more fluent isn't just about studying rules. It's about listening, really listening to how people talk. Notice these phrases. Try them out when you can. Don't worry about perfection. Just experiment.
Well said. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about how these seemingly small interactions, these everyday phrases, actually build our social world. How much communication happens through these little signals of politeness, empathy, and planning.
That's interesting. What other subtle cues are out there in the English you hear every day? Something to keep an ear out for. We're looking at something I think most of us enjoy, right? Talking about places we visited.
Definitely, whether it's, a big holiday you just got back from, or even just describing a favorite local park or cafe.
Exactly. Or maybe dreaming about where you want to go next.
Being able to share those experiences well in English is just such a great skill to have.
It really is. And it doesn't matter if you're just starting out with English or you're pretty advanced. We think this deep dive has something for everyone.
Think of it like this. We're your toolkit providers today, helping you bring those travel stories to life.
Yeah, going beyond just saying, I went here. How do you really capture the feeling of a place? Imagine we're just chatting, maybe grabbing a coffee, sharing stories.
Okay, so let's start with that. Get you thinking. Have you ever visited a place that just completely surprised you? Like totally wasn't what you expected?
Maybe for the better, or maybe not so much.
Hold that thought for a second. Yeah, maybe somewhere you'd seen tons of pictures of, but then actually being there felt completely different.
Or the opposite. Some little town you'd never heard of that turned out to be amazing.
Right.
Talking about places that really make an impression. My trip to Edinburgh comes to mind in Scotland.
Oh, Edinburgh. Yeah, that's a city with character. What really struck you about it?
Honestly, just how beautiful it was straight away.
Yeah.
And the history, you could almost feel it in the buildings, Walking around, it felt like every corner had a story. And the people, too. Genuinely friendly. Plus, and this is a shock, I was there in summer, and the weather was actually nice.
Yeah, that is a bonus in Scotland, isn't it? It's funny how those first impressions, the look, the feel, the people, kind of set the tone.
Totally. We spent hours just, wandering up and down the Royal Mile, just soaking it all in.
Yeah.
And Edinburgh Castle, obviously. Had to see that. It's so imposing.
Right.
We even got adventurous with the food. Tried haggis.
Haggis, the classic litmus test. What do you think?
Well, it was certainly interesting. An experience, let's say. Probably not for everyone, maybe. What about you? Did you try it?
I did, yeah. It's definitely unique. The texture, the spices, it gets people talking, that's for sure. Takes a bit of courage.
Definitely memorable. But honestly, the absolute best part for me, hiking up Arthur's Seat.
Oh, yeah. The old volcano.
That's the one. Right there in the city. It was a bit of a climb, not gonna lie. But getting to the top, wow. You see the whole city laid out and the sea off in the distance. Just breathtaking, really.
Those big panorama views often become the things you remember most clearly, don't they? Something about seeing it all spread out like that. It's powerful.
It really is. And it got me thinking, how do we actually talk about things like that? It's more than just saying, I went to Edinburgh. You want to share that feeling?
Exactly. Paint a picture with your words.
So let's dig into some practical ways you can do that, some useful language. I mean, the basic starting point is obviously I visited.
Yeah.
Right? I visited Rome last year. Simple.
Right. Foundational. But then you want to add some color. Instead of just, it was nice. What else can we use? Think about stronger adjectives.
Good point. Like absolutely beautiful or breathtaking, like I said about the view, maybe fascinating if it was historically interesting.
Yes. Those words immediately create a much stronger image for the listener, don't they? Breathtaking tells you much more than just nice view.
Definitely pulls you in more. And it's not just what you see, is it? It's the vibe, the atmosphere.
Exactly. How did it feel? Was the atmosphere really lively? like a busy market square.
Or maybe the opposite, peaceful, like a quiet temple garden or something.
Or even magical, for those places that just have something special, you can't quite put your finger on it. How do those words help?
They add layers, I think, make it more immersive. So you're not just telling someone what it looked like, but what it felt like to be there.
And then, of course, what did you actually do there?
Right, activities.
Yeah. Saying, I explored the city on foot gives a different impression than, say, I took a bus tour.
True. More intimate, maybe?
Kind of. Or, I tried the local food, it was delicious. That's something almost everyone can connect with. What other sorts of action phrases work well?
Maybe I wandered through the ancient ruins, or we spent the afternoon relaxing on the beach. They give context. Show how you experienced the place.
And if you want to make your story really stick, focus on a specific moment.
Oh yeah, like one thing I'll never forget is, and then share a specific detail.
Or what surprised me the most was, that creates a bit of intrigue. Why are those so effective, do you think?
But they make it personal, right? It's not just a list of facts, it's your specific memory or your reaction. It feels more authentic.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got describing words, atmosphere, actions, memorable moments. Now, for anyone learning English, just hearing these phrases is one thing, but using them is another. Repetition can really help here.
Definitely. Helps it sink in, makes it easier to grab the phrase when you need it in a real conversation.
Builds that muscle memory.
Okay, let's try a couple then. Just repeat after me. Ready? I visited a small town in the mountains.
I visited a small town in the mountains.
Good. The view is breathtaking.
The view is breathtaking.
And one more. I'll never forget the sunset by the lake.
I'll never forget the sunset by the lake.
Nice. See? Even just saying them out loud once or twice starts to embed them a little. Now, talking about places. It's not just about you talking, is it? It's a conversation.
Crucial point. You need to ask questions too. Show you're interested in the other person's experiences. Keep that ball rolling.
So what are some good go-to questions for travel talk?
Well, the obvious opener is, have you ever been to place?
Right. Classic. Immediately finds common ground or opens the door for them to share if they haven't.
And if they have been, then naturally you'd ask, oh, really? What did you do there?
Yeah. Gets them talking about their activities.
And to get a bit deeper, what was your favorite part? That often brings out the real highlights for them.
That's a good one. And I also like asking, would you go again?
That tells you a lot about their overall feeling about the place, doesn't it?
It really does. Why do you think these questions work so well in, like, making it a proper conversation?
Well, most of them are open-ended, aren't they? They invite more than just a yes or no.
True.
They encourage the other person to share their own stories, their opinions, makes them feel heard.
Let's play this out. Say someone mentions Paris. How could you jump in with these questions?
Okay, so they say, I went to Paris last spring. You could go, oh, nice. What was your favorite part of Paris? See? Straight to a positive memory.
Good one. And then, because it's Paris, you could ask, did you try the food there? Everyone loves talking about French food, right?
Exactly. Very relatable. Or maybe, was it your first time visiting France? Gets a bit more context about their travel background.
You see how one question sort of flows into the next?
Yeah, builds momentum. It shows you're actually listening and interested, not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Which is key. Okay, let's switch gears a little. Future travel. Talking about places we want to go. That's always fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah, dream destinations. It lets us share a bit about our hopes, our interests.
For me, I have to say, Japan is really high on my list.
Oh, interesting. Why Japan?
Just everything I read about it. The culture seems so fascinating, the mix of ancient and modern. The food, obviously. Seeing the temples, maybe the cherry blossoms. Just sounds incredible.
Yeah, I get that. What makes somewhere a dream destination, do you think? It's different for everyone.
It is. Maybe it's a lifelong fascination, like wanting to see the pyramids, or maybe stunning nature like beaches in Thailand, or just something completely different.
Right. And there are ways to talk about those dreams, too. Specific phrases.
Like one place I'd love to visit is Japan. Simple.
Or to show it's been a long-term goal. It's been on my bucket list for years.
Yeah, that adds weight to it. Or, I've always dreamed of going to. That sounds quite passionate.
It does. And if it feels a bit closer, maybe, hopefully I'll get the chance to go there next year. Shows intent.
Different levels of certainty, yeah. So let me ask you, listening right now, where do you really want to go? Picture it for a moment. That place you always scroll past photos of.
Okay, so to help you put all this great language into action, we've got a little challenge for you.
Nothing too scary. Just a chance to practice.
Basically, can you try speaking for about 1 minute? Just talking about a place.
Could be somewhere you've actually visited. Or maybe that dream destination you were just thinking about.
Either one works. And to give you a bit of a kickstart, you could maybe use a structure like this. Just an idea.
Yeah, like start with last year I visited, or one place I really want to visit is.
Then maybe add a detail. It was in the north-south of my country, or it's famous for it.
You could say something like the people were very kind, or the food looked incredible.
And maybe finish with a future thought. Next time, I'd love to go with my friends, or I hope I can visit soon.
But that's just a suggestion, right?
Absolutely. Just talk about whatever comes to mind about the place. The main thing is just to try speaking continuously for about that minute.
Yeah. Maybe record yourself on your phone. Or just say it out loud to yourself. It sounds simple, but it's brilliant practice for fluency,
Confidence.
rhythm, all that stuff. And don't stress about making it perfect. Seriously.
Not at all. It's just practice. Getting comfortable using the language to share your own thoughts, your own experiences. That's the goal.
So there we have it. Our deep dive into talking about places. We've covered describing your trips, asking good questions to keep the conversation flowing.
And sharing those future travel dreams. Hopefully giving you tools to do it all a bit more naturally, a bit more fluently.
And remember, like learning anything, getting better at communicating in English is, well, it's a journey, isn't it?
It really is. So keep talking, keep listening, maybe keep dreaming about those travels, both the real ones and the ones you take with your English.
Okay, you know that feeling. You meet someone new, you go to introduce yourself in English, and you use those phrases you learned like way back, but somehow they just sound a bit clunky.
Oh, yeah, like reading from a script.
Exactly, like, hello, my name is... It just feels a bit stiff sometimes, doesn't it?
It really does. It's something lots of learners run into. You nail the basics, which is great, but then making it sound, natural, that's the next step.
Right. It lacks that warmth you often hear when native speakers just chat.
Precisely, that immediate kind of connection.
Okay, so for this deep dive, we've really dug into how to introduce yourself in English in a way that feels more comfortable, more confident.
And memorable, too.
Yeah, memorable.
Yeah.
So the goal here is to give you some really practical tips, drawing from our source material, to help you ditch those robotic intros.
We want you to sound like you naturally belong in the conversation, completely at ease.
And it's interesting, isn't it? It's not just the words.
No, not at all. It's the subtle stuff, the social cues, why certain phrases just work better to build that connection right away.
Okay, let's get into it. Step 1, according to the source, is ditching that overly formal greeting.
Right, that, hello, my name is, we mentioned, it's grammatically fine, of course.
But maybe better for an email or a really formal setting.
Exactly. In everyday chat, it can feel a bit distant. Think about how you talk to friends versus, say, a formal interview. Different vibe.
So what are the alternatives? The source gives some nice, simple ones.
Yeah, things like, hey, I'm your name. Simple.
Or, hi there, I'm Name, nice to meet you.
That's friendly. Or even, hey, how's it going? I'm Name, by the way.
I like that last one. It feels really casual, like you're just dropping your name into the conversation naturally.
It does. And these work because they signal openness, friendliness. They sort of break the ice immediately.
Creates a warmer starting point.
Yeah, exactly. Less formal, more inviting, which is pretty common in a lot of English-speaking contexts, that slightly less formal start.
Okay, so we got the greeting sorted. Then it usually moves to where you're from, right?
Often, yeah. People are curious.
But the source warns against, like, giving a whole geography lesson right then and there.
Yeah. Keep it brief and natural. Weave it in.
So how does that sound? The source had examples like, I'm originally from Istanbul, but I've been living in Berlin for the past 2 years.
Nice. Or, I grew up in Nairobi, but these days I'm based in London.
Ooh, based in A. That sounds good.
It does. And there was that other one. I'm from Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's hot, loud, and full of energy.
I love that. It gives you a real flavor, doesn't it? More than just a place name.
Totally. Adds personality.
You mentioned based in. The source also highlights grew up in and originally from. Why are these maybe a bit better than just I live in?
Well, I live in is perfectly fine, very clear, but the others add a bit more nuance, don't they?
Oh, so?
Like, based in often suggests where your sort of home base is now, maybe for work or just being settled. Grew up in talks about your past, your roots. And originally from is great if you live somewhere else now, but want to acknowledge where you started.
Gotcha. So they just add a little extra layer, make it more like storytelling?
Exactly. More natural.
All right. So Casual greeting, check. Where you're from, check. What's usually next? Work. Studies.
Yeah, the what do you do question. And again, the advice is don't just state your job title like it's on a business card.
Make it personal.
Make it personal. Share it in a friendlier way. And importantly, the source acknowledges, maybe you're a student. Maybe you're between jobs. That's totally fine too.
Right. So instead of just, I'm a graphic designer.
You could say something like, I'm a graphic designer. I mostly work on branding for startups. Adds a bit more context.
Or for a student.
I'm currently studying biology at uni, and I'm really getting into genetics. Shows your interest.
What if you're job hunting?
Maybe. Right now, I'm actually exploring a few options, doing a bit of freelance work while I figure out the next step. Sounds much more human, right?
Yeah. Definitely more relatable than just a title.
And the source has this great tip. Try to link what you do to your passion or what you enjoy about it.
Oh, interesting. Like how?
Well, the example was, I work in marketing. I really love the creative side, like coming up with ideas to help brands tell their stories.
Ah, okay. So it's not just what you do, but maybe a hint of why you do it or what part you like.
Exactly. It gives the other person so much more to connect with, opens the door for follow-up questions about what actually interests you.
That makes a lot of sense. It shifts it from just a label to, part of your personality, which actually leads perfectly into the next step, the source highlights, adding that personal touch. This is the key to being memorable.
Absolutely. This is where you really let your personality shine through a little bit, beyond the facts, name, origin, job.
So sharing a hobby or maybe something you've been up to recently.
Yeah, exactly. Something that makes you.
Yeah.
That's not just another introduction. It creates a stronger impression.
So instead of just, I like hiking.
Maybe something more like, in my free time, I'm really into hiking and trail running. It's kind of how I clear my head. Adds that personal reason.
Or, I've recently started trying to cook Indian food. It's pretty chaotic in my kitchen right now, but it's fun.
Love that. Or even, I'm a huge football fan. If it's a Sunday, you'll probably find me watching the match somewhere. Specifics make it real.
And I like that they included examples about learning, too.
Yeah, like right now I'm really focused on improving my English. Or recently I've been reading a lot about mindfulness.
Those feel very relevant, especially if you're meeting people in, say, a learning environment or a new country. Shows you're engaged.
Definitely. And it's that little detail, that one specific thing that can turn a forgettable intro into something that actually sparks a real conversation.
Okay, but it's not just what you say, right? Yeah. The source emphasizes how you connect all these pieces, making it flow.
Crucial point. You don't want it to sound like you're just ticking off items on a list.
Greeting, done. Origin, done. Yeah, not good.
Haha, no. Smooth transitions are really a sign of fluency and just comfort in the conversation. Native speakers link thoughts together pretty seamlessly.
So how do we do that?
Yeah.
Are there phrases that help?
Yeah, the source gives some useful little phrases to sort of wrap up your initial intro part. Things like, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to.
Or, anyway, that's a little bit about me.
Or, I guess that pretty much sums it up for now. Even something like, it's been a fun journey so far.
They sound quite simple, but I can see how they'd work. They kind of signal, okay, I've shared a bit, now over to you. But in a relaxed way.
Exactly. They show you're comfortable, confident, and ready to continue the chat rather than just stopping abruptly.
Right. Now, to pull this all together, the source gave that full example from Layla. Should we run through that?
Yeah, let's hear it. It's a good model.
Okay, she says, hey, I'm Layla. I'm originally from Morocco, but I've been living in Barcelona for the past year.
Nice start. Casual greeting, origin with context.
Then, I work as a freelance video editor, mostly for travel vloggers and small YouTubers, which is super fun.
See, adds context and enthusiasm about her work, not just the title.
Outside of work, I'm really into photography and street art. I love exploring new neighborhoods and capturing moments. It helps me see things differently.
Great personal touch there, specific interests, and a little why.
Recently, I've also started learning Italian, just for fun. I love languages, and I think it's an awesome way to connect with people.
Another relevant personal detail, linking it back to connection.
And she wraps up with, anyway, that's a bit about me. How are you?
Perfect. Smooth closing, invites the other person in. It just flows, doesn't it? Sounds natural, personal, not rehearsed at all.
Totally. Okay, and then there were those final extra tips for really sounding native. First one was contractions.
Ah, yes, the little things that make a big difference.
There.
Using I'm, I've, it's. Instead of I am, I have, it is.
It seems so basic, but it really does change the rhythm, doesn't it?
Huge difference. It's just how people actually talk. It makes your speech flow more smoothly, less formal, more natural instantly.
And the other one was phrasal verbs.
Right. Verbs like grew up, get into, work on, check out, based in, like we mentioned.
They're everywhere in spoken English.
They really are. And using them correctly makes you sound much less like you're translating in your head, you know?
Yeah.
More idiomatic, like using look up instead of always saying search for information.
Yeah, definitely sounds more natural. Okay, and the last tip, maybe the most important.
Confidence.
Just own it, right? Even if your English isn't perfect.
Absolutely. Speak clearly, be willing to share your story. Honestly, confidence can sometimes smooth over minor grammar mistakes. People respond well to someone who seems comfortable.
That's really encouraging, actually. It's not about perfection, it's about connection.
Exactly.
Okay, so quick recap. For that natural intro, start casual with the greeting.
Weave in where you're from naturally.
Talk about what you do, but make it personal. Maybe share why you like it.
Add that specific personal detail, a hobby, something recent.
Use those little linking phrases to make it flow smoothly.
Don't forget contractions. And try to use phrasal verbs where they fit.
And above all, sound confident when you share your story.
You got it. That's the essence of it.
So the real key now is practice, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. You can't just know this stuff, you got to try it out. The source suggests actually trying to build your own intro using this structure.
Right, like greet casually, name and origin, work studies with a twist, personal detail, wrap it up.
Maybe even just say it out loud to yourself a few times. Get comfortable with the flow, the phrases.
Yeah, great idea. So we really encourage you listening. Think about your current intro. Could you tweak it? Using these ideas, try writing it, try saying it.
See how it feels, see how it sounds.
And maybe this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. How might making these kinds of small, maybe seemingly minor, changes in how you first present yourself? How might that actually open doors to deeper, more genuine connections down the line?
Ooh, that's interesting. Because that first impression, that initial spark of connection, it really can set the stage for everything that follows, can it? Something to think about.